Hello, everyone. Dividend Enjoyer here. And earlier, I talked about my top three dividend stocks for Christmas, and I think I'm going to talk about my top three growth stocks for the new year. So, if you guys want to find out what three stocks they are, stick around. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the video. For my first growth stock that I want to talk about, I think I'm going to talk about DraftKings. And DraftKings, it's pretty obvious what their business model is. This stock is going to be the earliest along out of the ones I'm kind of talking about in their business cycle. So they're not mature or anything like that. There's a ton of growth to be had here, and they're not quite profitable yet. But they're spending a lot of money on research. And by reading their 10K, I kind of realized how compelling the business model is just from understanding how big this business could be if they become the prime time leader in it. And they really only have the one competitor in FanDuel. I will say, however, there are disadvantages in them not having the physical real estate side of things, but there's also big advantages with that as well. Because while FanDuel might have to focus on the casino business, or let's say the casino business doesn't do as well, like the physical place that they own isn't bringing in the numbers that they need to, they they may supplement, that side of the business with the, online sportsbook side. And DraftKings is just focused on this one thing. So I really think that DraftKings has the advantage of only being focused on one part of their business. Like this is the only thing DraftKings does. They're very involved. I think their marketing is a lot stronger, and I think the people involved understand the business on a higher level and are laser focused on making as much profit as possible. And I think long term, DraftKings is going to have a really successful. The second growth stock on my list is Salesforce, and the ticker symbol is exactly what they are. The ticker symbol, in case you don't know, is CRM, and CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, which is a process that businesses use to manage their interactions with customers. So essentially, Salesforce helps businesses understand their consumers better and store a lot of information about their customers for them and help them manage it. And so Salesforce has network effects, which essentially means that people come to Salesforce initially to help them with their customer relationship management. So let's say this is the first batch of people. They give Salesforce money, and then Salesforce improves the services. So then once the services are even better, more people might come and then give Salesforce money, and then they make the service even better. And that keeps happening. And what happens is, as your company grows, you have years and years of information and data about your customers. And it's very expensive for you to then say, okay, I'm done being on Salesforce. This doesn't make sense for me anymore. I'm going to build my own data center. So Salesforce knows this, and this essentially means that they're scooping up more and more clients that can't leave the ecosystem, and they're able to just keep collecting money from their existing customers, which is the most important thing in my mind, is to keep your existing customers happy. But then because they have the existing customers bankrolling them and giving them more money, they're able to put that into more R&D and just continue to make the product better. They're focused on this one thing. I think that they're going to be using AI with their agents, and it's just going to be an amazing amount of free cash flow growth over the next 10 years. I would venture to say that Salesforce may be the highest quality pick out of the three stocks I'm going to talk about. And full disclosure, I own all of these stocks. I'm not a financial advisor, but I really love Salesforce so much. It's an amazing company. Could not recommend it more. I'm going to be doing a valuation of it eventually on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see some of my stock valuation videos. But I just want to make a video talking about these three growth stocks, and I think Salesforce is an amazing buy for anyone's portfolio. Lastly on the list, we have what is perhaps the most amazing company of this century so far. For the last 24 years, I think this is the biggest success story, and that, of course, is Microsoft. I made a whole stock analysis video on Microsoft. I think the company is out of this world crazy good. I think the valuation right now is a little bit high, but that's to be expected. I wouldn't expect that a stock like Microsoft that's so stellar and so solid would be selling at a discount. It's very rare that you can get into this stock for under the fair value. You're usually going to probably be paying a little bit extra because the sustained growth for so long and their track record of growth is so good, and they don't show signs of slowing down like Apple does. And it's not like a Tesla where the EPS doesn't even remotely come close to the stock price. Like, this is a good company. It's a good, solid company. I like the stock a lot. I think that if you can get in at a good price that you're comfortable paying for the company, I think you should definitely own this stock, simply because you have Office as essentially a cash cow that you're going to be able to cash in. I mean, for the foreseeable future, we're still using Office to this day, and they're not putting a lot of work into that. They just developed it. You're also getting Xbox, which is a huge ecosystem, along with a Games Pass that they're adding even more and more onto. They're essentially monopolizing the gaming industry in a lot of different ways, acquiring different publishers and having this subscription-based Games Pass, which is really player friendly at this point. You're getting a decent dividend. You are getting, investment in AI. You're getting the Azure cloud, which is maybe the most important thing with buying the stock because the growth is just going to be huge. And you get a company that's constantly trying to look for different ways to make money. And even if they fail, it's okay because they're trying so many different things. And you can't say that about the other Mag 7 stocks in the same way that you can about Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft even had the Zune to try and compete with the iPhone. And that was a total flop that people forget about all the time. Or Microsoft tried to make their own phones too. Microsoft has failed in a lot of ways, but they are the best example in my mind of a company that is always looking for places to grow and improve and always trying to get the right team for the projects that they're making. I think Satya Nadella is the best CEO out of the Mag 7 CEOs at essentially managing a company of this size and continuing to find growth. I don't think the other CEOs of the Mag 7, excluding Elon Musk because he has a direct pipeline to talk to Trump whenever he wants to, but Satya Nadella is, in my opinion, the best CEO to run a company of this magnitude and still get stellar growth. So I think management's great. I think the company's great. I think their financials are great. The dividend's great. I love everything about Microsoft. It's just a little bit pricey right now, but if you're going to hold for the long term, I don't think you're going to find a more compelling individual stock than Microsoft, other than maybe a Berkshire Hathaway that's so diversified and owns all these different assets.